All right, welcome back in. We know that we have been covering a lot of ground, so I want to bring in our political analysts, Rob Stutzman and Democrat Andrew Acosta. Thank you both so much for joining me tonight. Rob, let me start with you first. What is the goal here for the Trump administration? Why do this?
Well, one, they said they would, so they're following through on something he absolutely said he would do, which is deport illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants. But he's getting a political goal out of it, too. So if you think of the image now that's become a bit iconic today of the masked man waving the Mexican flag with cars burning in the background, White House loves that. That's the political contrast, excuse me, that they are looking for against deep blue progressive California. And they're succeeding in getting what they want.
Andrew, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Why do you think the Trump administration is doing this?
I think it's exactly as Rob said. I mean, I think this is the president and his team have manufactured this in a way that now that the riots kicked off, they're sitting back and laughing, having a good time at, just telling everyone, look at California. It's the wrong model. It's the blue state. It's the worst run state in America. And look, and the images that are coming forth, which, yes, there are people that are breaking the law that should be held accountable, but the vast majority of LA was I was watching the UCLA baseball game yesterday. In West LA, there was no riots going on. It wasn't like 1992 when the entire city was on fire. This is a very targeted, small operation that they've now, just focused on and created this narrative that the entire city is on fire.
Rob, let me ask you, do you see this as part of a broader strategy ahead of the 2026 elections?
Well, I think Trump knows this is the issue that he does have the majority of Americans on, is immigration. As he's starting to lose on the economy, as he got into his breakup with his best pal Elon last week, they're turning the channel back, everyone's attention back to the issue that works for them. They have to be careful, because it's not clear that it will continue to work for them if you are raiding laborers and deporting abuelas who have been here sewing for the last 30 years. That's not the same as the hardened criminals and gangsters, that we're supposed to be rounding up. So I think they have to be careful about overplaying their hand. But at the moment, this is their winning issue. So they want to keep playing on that field.
Rob, do you think that this is what Republicans voted for when they voted for Trump and they said they wanted immigration reform? Do you think that they thought it would look like this?
I think some of them did, and I think some of them want it to look like this. There'll be consequences to this, though, if it keeps going on. You're going to have more stories of families being torn apart. You're going to have the specter of now military troops on the streets of U.S. cities if this continues this way. And you're not going to have an economic impact. L.A. has to rebuild. I mean, what does the White House really think that workforce looks like to rebuild 7,000 homes in L.A. County and prepare for the Olympics? So there's going to be economic impacts if they continue to put the foot down on the gas this hard.
Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, did every voter who voted for Donald Trump, did they want this? Some, but clearly some, again, they didn't think like the first thing we need to do to go after illegal immigration is to go to Home Depot and arrest the guy standing out front. Yeah. That to me, I think that's the overreach. But this is the Trump, he always goes over. There's never like a nuance. It's always like to the nth degree of what we're gonna do. And sometimes it works and sometimes it fails miserably. And who will be left holding the bag are Republicans in Congress who are up on the ballot next cycle. And they could get a serious blowback if this overreach spills and someone gets hurt or there's other stories that come out about, families being torn apart. Because I think some of these Republicans in these tough districts are going to say, man, we didn't want this.
Yeah, there are Republicans secretly hoping that Gavin Newsom succeeds in court, regains control of his National Guard, and they're praying those Marines never deploy onto the streets. Because that starts to put a lot of Republicans, in some very uncomfortable positions.
All right, we got to go to break. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be right back after this.